Imagine, the year is 1999 and a new millennia is right around the corner. 2000 is supposed to be the year of the future. We were going to have flying cars, teleportation, and most importantly, we were going to be living in space. Whether it was on the moon or some space station, we were positive that we would all be sipping Tang in the 2000s. Jump to 2017 and we still don't have flying cars, no teleportation devices, and we still haven't been on the moon since the 1970s. But hey, at least we have Teslas and smartphones, and the ability to download practically any movie ever made, like Zenon, the Girl of the 21st Century, a Disney Channel original movie made in the year 1999. The movie opens up with Zenon, played by Kirsten Storms, and the classic cliche of waking up late for school. But this time, it's in space! So she makes her way to class by going up a ladder, then back down, where she learns that her favorite band, Microbe, is coming to visit her station. But so is someone else. Enter the villain of the movie, Parker Wyndham.
Parker Wyndham, owner and chief operating officer of our parent company, Wincom, will be paying our little space station a visit on Friday. Now, I don't think I'm giving away any secrets when I say this has not been our finest year. March, we had cooling system leaks. May brought power blackouts.
And that small, unfortunate computer room fire.
Yes, that small fire. Well, our space station is 27 years old, people. But the fact is, it needs major improvements and repairs. And since many of you are so close to successfully completing your most prodigious experiments, it would be a shame to have Wyndham shut us down at such a critical juncture.
Worried that she might do something to jeopardize their chances, Zee's parents and the commander, who looks like the mayor of Whoville, tells her not to get into trouble while Wyndham is visiting.
If you're so concerned about his visit, honey, hop out. How?
Well, you could start by trying to keep your gang in line while Wyndham's aboard. You know, no air duct cruising, no recycle bin diving, and please, please, please try to stay out of the restricted zones.
Okay.
So, of course, immediately she gets into trouble, and her parents get mad, of course, and tell her not to do it again. And immediately she does it again.
Me. I didn't break into the memory bank. Lutz did. I was only down there to spy on him.
Because
I knew he was up to something inky.
She also found out she won a contest to dance with Protozoa, the frontman to Microbe, with her doll she presumably made with the tears and flesh of demon-possessed orphans. But because she's been acting like a giant piece of shit, her friends or parents send her to Earth to live with her aunt. Or aunt.
I'm sorry, Z. Your mother and I have contacted your Aunt Judy.
So no more space food, no more Protozoa, and no more That's So Raven. So I guess it's time for Zenon to be gone from space. What's weird is that not long after, Wyndham pledges the station $500 million, and Z's forced to travel back to Earth with him. So if he's giving them the money and he's going to leave, why is he still being sent to Earth? It doesn't make any sense. Like, they're not sending her to punish her because her mom clearly doesn't want her to go.
He's not shutting us down. He gave us more money.
Money, please.
Maybe you were wrong about him.
At 2, Nebula.
According to the Shakespeare. He must be inked out. Well, I made you something. It's no big deal or anything. It's for good luck.
Anyways, before she leaves, Raven gives her an earring she made from a disc she found on the ground. The same very disc Slugworth, Wyndham's assistant, dropped earlier that night. Z gets to Earth where Aunt Judy, played by Holly Folger, is there to pick her up.
Is that you? You look like the Zenon I knew as a baby. Only taller. And more miserable.
Yeah, afraid so.
Oh, I can't believe you made it, flying through space like that. I would rather face 62 weeks of dental surgery. Terra firma, that's my motto. The firmer the better. Get it? Oh. So how's your mom? Still skinny as a rail, I'll bet? Yeah? Here, let me get your bag. Oh, you starved.
I don't know, I guess.
Yeah? I would take you home and make you something myself, but I figure you've been traumatized enough for one day. Okay, let's go.
They go to lunch where Z meets Greg, the kid from Small Soldiers, and his friends who, other than the bitchy one and the black one, are mostly forgettable.
Absolve me from interrupting, but my pack and I have a bet. They think that with those clothes and that do, or shall I say don't.
Please don't.
You must be from some viral extreme place like Eastern Jersey. But I guessed you were simply getting a 6-month head start on Halloween.
You win. It's the Halloween thing. Now, lend me that mask you're wearing, and I'll have the most hideous major costume ever.
Not bad.
Can we scrub this mission, please? I've suddenly lost my appetite.
The next few days at school, Zenon has trouble fitting in. She can't swim, on Earth at least. She uses Celsius instead of Fahrenheit, and doesn't know what money is. It's your less than typical fish out of water stuff, and it's pretty fucking droll.
175, please.
175 what? Oh, money. You must mean money.
Where she comes from, they don't have cash.
Yeah, we just barter with moon rocks and alien skulls. Pay you back.
You know, the truth is, I think it's pretty macro you grew up in space.
Yeah? Well, I think it's macro you grew up here on Earth.
No. Go easy. Macro's a good thing. Micro is bad. Viral is nasty. Graphic is beautiful.
Excuse me, but I studied my schedule and nowhere on it does it say anything about taking a foreign language.
The house gets ransacked one day, and they find it kind of strange that nothing is missing. So Z decides to do some digging at the library, because, in the future, no one has personal computers. Fucking idiot. There, she sees the love interest and asks him for help.
Look, this is difficult major for me, but I have this situation I'm dealing with, and I could fully use a little help.
Last time I tried to help you, I nearly got whiplash from the verbal assault.
Oh, well, obviously your life is so lunarious you can't relate, but I was having a very bad day.
I'm sorry.
I'm deeply sorry. Sorry.
Look, I'd like to help, but I can't. I'm on my way out. I work at a stable. Horses. It's kind of cool. Do you want to check it out?
No, thanks.
Suit yourself.
Real horses?
Instead, they go out on a date, they do some fish out of water stuff, and then the date ends. The next day, the love interest recruits its friends to help Zenon out. Even the one they don't like for some reason.
Are you gonna do this all day?
Probably.
But it's so boring. Hey, don't you want to go for a ride with me, my dad's hover limo?
No, thanks.
You always used to like riding with me, before she dropped out of the sky like a ton of space junk.
Reality pill, Margie. It was never you he liked. It was the car.
Shut up, Matt.
So Token Black Friend is able to hack into the disk and discovers a virus that is slowly infecting the space station and will eventually explode.
It's a highly sophisticated, untraceable nanovirus that'll slowly continue to replicate inside a system until the entire hard drive crashes down and self-destructs.
Cetus Lapidus, are you sure?
Considering the hunk of melted junk that now sits where my computer used to be, I'm very sure. Fortunately, after several hours of highly skilled maneuvers, I have managed to refashion this program into an undo file.
After calling Raven, she decides she needs to go to the space station and figures the only way up there is with Microbe. And since she's the contest winner, they have to be a fucking idiot not to let her on.
It's really awful. But wouldn't it be viral if the explosion happens while Microbe's there?
What did you say?
I wasn't trying to be cruel.
Margie!
You feeling all right?
Margie, you are a mega genius.
I know. Why?
Well, Microbe. They've got to be heading up to the space station for their concert. Right?
Right.
But Wyndham's apparently thought of that, and has guards all over looking for her.
I'm sure we're not on your list or anything, but this is Zenon Carr. The microbe contest winner. And it's Alpha Vital that you speak to Protozoa ASAP.
Did you say Zenon Carr?
That's me.
Guess you've heard of me, huh?
Would you step out of the vehicle, please? I've got explicit instructions to detain you.
You mean, like, take a prisoner?
All I know is Mr. Wyndham is very anxious to get a hold of you.
I'll bet he is. Sorry, Chief. Love to hang around, but gotta rock it.
She manages to get to Protozoa and convinces him she is who she says she is.
Mr. Zoa, it's me, Zenon Carr, your contest winner. Listen, I'm here instead of up there, but you have to take me back up there with you.
Back here, I see her.
Listen, I don't have a lot of time to explain, but it's urgent, Major. You have to believe me. You're my one and only hope.
Hold on, it is you, isn't it?
Gotcha now, kid. Game over. Sorry about this, Mr. Zoe. We'll get her out of here at once.
No, tell them. You have to tell them. It's urgent in the viral extreme.
Let's go.
Gentlemen, you obviously don't know who this is.
All we know is that we have orders to deliver her to Mr. Wyndham.
What, and disappoint all my adoring, despairing fans who are waiting to see me dance with her up there in space? I don't think so, boys. Lacey, will you do me a favour, darling? Please escort Miss Carr to the space shuttle.
I'm going? You're taking me with you? Cetus the penis! As much as I loved you before, now I love you even more.
Of course you do.
So Judy, being a good aunt, follows Zenon, and together they're able to somehow trap Wyndham and his assistant and fly to the space station. When they finally land on the station, they try to tell the mayor of Candyland to Disney 411. But of course, he doesn't believe them and locks them
Nothing you're
up.
telling me makes any sense.
That's because she's the one who tampered with your systems, Commander, and she's pathetically trying to cover it up by blaming me. That's
He's a liar, a Mondo liar.
I am
You
not
are
going to engage in a name-calling contest with a teenager.
Yeah, because you know you'll lose.
Zenon,
The main computer's gone flatline. We've got less than 15 minutes.
Oh, we're gonna die. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's all these are him.
If you continue to allow this child to speak to me in this manner, I will have this entire station shut down once and for all.
Oh, but
All right, look, I have no time for bickering now. Lieutenant, take Zenon and her aunt to my office. See that they stay there. Mr. Wyndham, you and Mr. Relax in my VIP lounge. We will sort this out after I get the space station back under my control.
Commander, I need emergency refueling. I have to leave immediately.
I bet you do.
That's enough.
Wait, no.
So Raven uses her psychic power to locate Z and her aunt as Wyndham tries to escape. She manages to save them via movie logic, and they head towards the memory bank. There, the commander is trying to reverse the polarity or something when Zenon comes in running to save the day.
We'll talk later, okay? I've got a space day to save.
Total system failure in 20 seconds.
Not if I can help it.
Incorrect access code.
I know this. I can do this.
What's the story, Zenon?
It all turned out to be exactly like I told you, sir. Wyndham had left to plant this virus in our computer so our space day would come crashing down and he could collect the insurance money.
Incorrect access code.
Total system failure in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7,
Incorrect access
6,
code.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Total system rehabilitated.
Is it over? Is it safe? Is it secret? Is it safe? Lieutenant Schiff, arrest those men.
You are so brilliant.
I am so proud of you.
Zenon saves the day, Wyndham is arrested, and Protozoa finally gets to play a song. Oh, yeah, and yeah, he's there too.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
And that's Zenon, girl of the 21st century. It may not be a total waste of time, but it's definitely a forgettable experience. The story's bland and overdone, the character's vanilla and boring, and the villain is as transparent as Joe Soloway. Zenon doesn't develop as a character, no lesson was learned, other than I guess don't judge a book by the cover, which is incredibly lazy, and the film has way too many unnecessary characters. Like, you can get rid of these two guys, that guy, him too. I mean, not her, because you need some, actually, you know what, never mind, you can get rid of her too. If you get rid of those characters and combine their personalities with Zenon, Raven, the love interest, and the villain, what you get is interesting characters with distinct identities. I mean, still ridiculously shallow identities, but nonetheless. I think that's the movie's problem, though. It's based off of a book that's 48 pages long, and they try to spread that into almost 2-hour movie. On top of that, it was supposed to be a movie pilot for a TV show. Just how? Well, you know what? Whatever. It's a good thing that's over, because Zenon is definitely a character I will not be seeing in the future. Oh god, there's 3 of them?!
You're worth it, you're perfect, deserve it, just work it. 넌 quitt이나 quitti, 또 pretty야 pretty, 빛이나 빛이, 넌 진리자 빛이. 혹시 누가 너를 자꾸 욕해? Tell 'em you're my lady.